I just want to show this morning. As busy as I am, I'm going to take the time. I leave my electric power washer hooked up most of the time, but this truck, I've been doing so much chipping lately, and off the edge of the road, and it was windy the other day, so I got a lot of chips all over the truck. The pollen is just crazy. But I also want to show on the Fords, if you don't keep the when your wheel starts looking like that, it's time to wash it. If you don't, you'll glaze the pads on a Ford. But the Super Duties, the brakes, every truck's that way. When your front wheel starts looking black like that, you'll glaze a pad because everything in there. So you got to get everything rinsed off. I try to do it in the morning, like right now when I'm starting, before anything's hot. But if not, you'll start hearing it squeak a little bit and have issues. Once you glaze the pad, you put new pads on it. This truck gets pads put on it a couple times a year normally, and or front or back. But in the fall, I normally put new pads on it. When I put new, basically what I do before winter is I make sure all the slides and stuff are greased and working, so you don't have an issue. Other than that, the same thing. Ford Super Duties, no need to stick a caliper normally, because salt gets in there and binds it up. But I just figured I'd take a shot. Some of the little things you do as a company on. I have a pump sprayer like this, and I use Napa sells a aluminum wheel cleaner, what they call aluminum brightener. But you spray this, you don't even have to scrub it. And like I said, I always try to get some in on the brake parts, and this will rinse that. That will come right off and look like a brand new rim. This truck's been hauling that chipper all spring. I've done more wood chipping this year, probably, than any other season. I also own the chipper now, which makes a difference. But even when I rented them and stuff, this year we had so much tree damage. So all my trucks pretty much have trailers on them, right? Every day they leave here. Some of the little things we do. I got that washed. Like I said, this is part of when you own a company. You look better if you keep your trucks clean. And I looked it up. It's a Napa aluminum wheel brightener is what the product's called. You get it in a gallon jug, but like I said, it brings those wheels right back to life. I didn't even touch that with a scrub brush. It just comes right off. I also found it cleans the brake dust off the caliper behind it, and I just thought I'd show that part of it. But this is all part of running the business. So someone that's looking at this is a 2016 truck, but I plan on keeping it until it's pretty much no good. Price of trucks right now is crazy. The interest rates are crazy. That aluminum wheel cleaner is probably the best stuff I've seen in all the years I've done this. And I used to detail cars when I did body work when I was younger. It's Monday morning. This is how I'm going to start my week. We're going to be going to a lot. I gave a price on quite a few weeks back, and I'm just getting to it now. They gave me the okay on it a couple weeks ago. I couldn't get there. There's a lot of chipping going on, a lot of tree damage this year. So we're going to be going out today, and it's probably a 150 to 200 foot driveway that goes to the lakefront. And there's old trees down, new trees down from that storm we had. There's still 3 or 4 small trees leaning on the power lines. There's a rental camp up in the wood line of behind the main camp that's on the lake. They're going to try to fix up and rent this year. So we got to clean up around there. It's a neighborhood I've been in for off and on for the last 5 weeks probably, doing the same thing, major tree cleanup. So we're going out there today to start on that. I thought I'd do an intro video to that. I want to start saying at the beginning of my videos, it would help if you like and subscribe. I also appreciate people watching my videos. Again, I just thought we'd start the video here and we'll get on the job site. I forgot the camera, so I want to take a shot. Basically, I'm being paid to clean up all the bent trees. This is the second to the last one I got to do from the storm damage. I just thought I had to break to go get something anyway, so I grabbed the camera and came back, but I'll just show you what we're up against, and we'll go from there. Cleaning up the leaves because I believe we're going to be bringing in gravel for the road or driveway afterwards. All the big dead stuff that's there we're leaving on the ground. We're just cleaning up what's bent over, like these. This one, there's a couple bent over, but I just figured I'd take a shot where we're at. I started up here this morning. It was probably one of the worst areas as far as what was on the ground. But what I do is I just leaf blow everything off the road. There's no sense of bringing new gravel in here and sticking it over a bunch of leaves. You can see the trees are bent right over. They're just going to bend the first storm there is, so we're going to get rid of them. Some of this I'm going to cut up for camp wood. Other than that, I just lay them out in the road and I'll grab them as I'm chipping. Rather than handle it 4 times, I'll just drag it down the road. I just figured we'd take a shot. We're going to go down through with the leaf blower and then move down a little further down the road. Up through. I blew all the leaves off the road, and I think we're going to be doing a driveway, but glad I blew that off too because I'm going to need way more gravel than I thought. But I got down all the trees that were hanging. They only wanted to cut down what they had to, nothing more, but that gets you down through there pretty good. Kind of right on the property line on this corner too. And the neighbor had a little bit of a concern this morning what I was cutting. But I don't blame her. You know, these lots are big, but there's still not a lot of privacy between the camps. Especially when you get down near the water. It looks a lot better than it did. The way it sounds, this driveway ain't been cleaned up in like 10 years. I believe it. But I blew the leaves way off. And now we can bring some gravel and grade this. I'm not going to get into the edge where it's all leaves or something. A lot more out there that should come down, but it's the only privacy they got between the camps, so they don't want to do it. A couple of them out there that they're bent, but they're not going to hurt nothing if they come down, so for a few more years anyways. But there's some oaks in here that are real big and failing. I don't know if you can see the one near that pole, but when that comes down, that's going to make a mess. Gonna take power out. Gonna take it right down to the ground too. Probably break that pole. And there's just another one right beside it that's doing the same thing. All these oaks are tipping down. That one over there is probably would hit that garage down here, but overall, ain't bad. Nice sounding V8 boat out there. I'll show you where the end of that. When you get down the end of this driveway. And we're going to be cleaning up all this. A lot of birches that were bent and cracked, and pile of brush up near the house. They've been doing a lot of work to this old house, so I think it's early 1900s house. Got all modern heat and everything in it now. But I think we're going to be coming in the next few weeks. We'll be revisiting this, getting rid of some more stuff up through there. That camp up on the hills there, they want to be able to get to that and rent it. I'm going to take down a couple of these birches and then clean up all this. And I think our next visit here is going to be grinding some stumps. Pretty nice lot of them all together. They're big, but when you get down near the waterfront, that's they get kind of tight to each other. But we're going to be grinding these stumps. They won't let them dig them out. We're going to be digging that patio out, I believe, too, in the next few weeks. That's going to be another job, but pretty sure they're going to give me the okay. That stump there we'll have to pull probably. Kind of a touchy situation though. You're kind of close to the water, but I'm going to have the wetlands guy in our town come look at it and he can make the decision. I might have to just roll that back in. We'll be doing in here all these bent over pines that are in there, little pines. Whatever else I can, they want a good path up to that camp, so. I had two different people kind of looking in the other property lines, well over $1 million homes, all of them, and they're just weird. They're good sized lots, but down near the water, and there's very little privacy between them. And you run into this a lot on the small lots, but this neighborhood here, I've been out working out here now, I think probably 5 or 6 years. But I was actually amazed. Like, I had one of the neighbors come over today and, you know, trying to dictate to me what trees I was going to cut down, even though it wasn't her property. She's like, oh, I don't want you cutting trees. And I'm like, well, they need to cut the ones that are on the power lines. They need to cut the ones that were bent over. But like, you start a weed whacker, you start anything up, weed whacker, chainsaw, you got visitors and they want to know what you're doing. And it's like, I guess call it a bunch of Karens. There's no homeowners association or nothing like that out here. But I don't know, she might have thought I was rude, but I'm like, well, I'm doing the trees that we discussed and I'm working for her, not you. It's like, I'm like, why, where's your well, my property line's way over there, then why are you concerned what I'm doing over here? But they wouldn't like me that much if I owned it, put it that way, because I'd be taking down every tree that I think was going to be an issue for the next 5 years. The people that do own it, I told her, I said, they feel the same way you do. They don't want me to take down anything that's not like bent over, that's going to just come down the next snowstorm in the next year, or this coming winter season. And some of them are bending over just because they got leaves on them and it rained, and that little bit of water weight that's on the leaves actually brought them down to where I couldn't drive under them with this truck. But I just think it's funny, the world we live in now. I mean, you always hear the jokes about the Karens and Kens that are out there, but I deal with it every week, all summer long, pretty much. No matter where I am on the waterfront, you got someone walking through the wood line wanting to know what you're doing, even though it's none of their business. Some today weren't bad. I mean, matter of fact, she was surprised when she see it was me. I actually did work for them quite a few years ago, and they were happy with it. But I just think it's funny, you know, how entitled people think they are about saying what you're going to do on someone else's land. Just kind of mind-boggling to me, but that's the new world we live in now. I just thought I'd touch base with that on that in this video. You know, I'm sick of it, I know that. I'm gonna grab that stuff near the house, and I'm gonna get everything up behind this chipper. These few in here that are coming down, and then most of the stuff that's coming down is back here anyway. So I'm going to go up that hill, try to clean a better path. There's a lot of little spruce trees and stuff that broke off, but right here we're only going to thin out a little bit. They don't want to take that much. We got that pile up near the house, the big chunks that were in there from basically just chipping everything into the wood line, what little wood line there is. So we got this pile that was here, and we're gonna go after all these trees that are bent over, but one there. I'm only gonna take what I have to though, because they ain't got a lot of privacy here, but all these pines ain't coming back up. This one, 2 or 3 here that are just gonna keep coming down. Looks like crap, so probably take 4 or 5 of those. That one up there. And then we got to do a better pathway up to that camp, which on this side is a bunch of those small pines and hemlock trees are broke anyway, so they're just going to die off. This first section of this job's done, chipping all this crap up. The staircase that goes to that rental they have up back is right there. It's kind of rough. And I don't think they like how close it is to the neighboring properties, cabins. They buried electric line up through here. But I believe he's going to discuss getting a better walkway up to this if they're going to rent it out. And probably change the sewer pipe out. It's got the old black iron in it. There's still some trees here I don't like, but nothing to do with the list. I told them what I would do for a certain amount of money. They agreed to it. And everybody here is nervous about how many trees to cut for privacy, because like that camp there is a neighboring property. And the pin's right there where the orange... Like I said, this was all one property at one time. Now it isn't. But that's the old pathway. I think they want to get a pathway over to here. My suggestion would be just 6x6s. Step it down, start at the top and step it down, because that electric line I think got put in the last couple of years. And new water line off the well came up through at the same time. I bet that ain't that far underground, so you'd have to be careful. I would almost suggest stepping the steps over to the left, taking a few more of these little trees out. Like that oak there. That's coming down. If it comes down on somebody, it's going to kill them. That's broke off way up there. Matter of fact, I think the only thing holding that up is it's hitting that pine tree. But there's a lot more here that... If they're going to rent this, I think they should get rid of a lot of this stuff that could be a liability. Pretty friendly walk until this point. And then, like I said, they were trying to figure out a better way of getting up that hill, but I think I'd suggest going to the right, going up through, maybe even in between these two trees. We'll make a path up through there. That one stump there, I don't think it's going to be too big of a deal. It looks like it's pretty rotted. Take the crap that you're digging out of there and throw it to the left so that this electric and water line is buried a little bit better too. So, some of the simple things we do, like I said, not every day is a glorious landscape job. This year we've done a lot of wood chipping, and I don't think we're done. I still got one more to do in this neighborhood, and I still got some more on roads that I keep care of. We took cleaned up what was on the sides of the road so we could grade roads, but there's still a lot that's got to come down before next winter. So there'll be more videos like this, I guess. And again, if you like my content, please like and subscribe. I'm almost to that 500 subscriber mark, so I'd appreciate if you did subscribe. And thanks for watching.